Creating content like Alex Hormozi is nowhere as easy as I thought it would be. You see, the reason why is because we all know that we want those subtitles at the bottom, those crazy visuals that keep our eyes moving, the repurposing, chopping up his long form into his short form. We know that. And I'm going to talk about exactly how to edit videos just like how he repurposes and chops up his content in long and short form. But there's tons of people adding subtitles and tons of visuals on their videos and not finding the success that Hormozi does. So how can you create content like Alex Hormozi and do it successfully? The first thing is don't put lipstick on a pig. The fancy editing, fancy visuals, all that stuff is your lipstick. And I'm not calling you a pig. I mean, what you are saying needs to be extremely valuable. And there's a framework that Hormozi uses that gets us all hooked, gives us so much value, real-time examples, and a takeaway every single time that we watch one of his videos so that we can go and implement immediately. That's why we love him. So in this video, we're going to talk about the two most important aspects on how to create content like Hormozi, starting with the S.E.X.I framework, and then how to edit your content and create a massive amount of high-value videos. The S.E.X.I framework is an acronym, and instead of a Y at the end, there's actually an I. In order to best script your videos, we all know that we need to hook someone into the beginning. So start with a compelling statement. Compelling statements are the things you hear that you kind of believe, need a little more information in order to fully believe it.
You really need to hear this out because it really changed my life and I hope it changes yours. I want to break the myth in this video that you need to go make $1 million and that you need money to make money.
Yeah, just like Hormozi did right there. Getting you to lean in and be like, yeah, that was good, give me more. So then you give him more. That's when we hit the E, for example. Kind of like what I did right there. I give you a bold statement and an example of Hormozi doing it. Then we want to back up that example with a clear explanation, explaining why that example is true. This is your X for explanation. Good thing is, sometimes you can switch and do your example after your explanation, but usually the most compelling hooks give you a type of story or example and then explain it thereafter. But it doesn't stop there. That's when we have the I for importance. Summing up your thought, giving the most important takeaway. And this is what Hormozi does so well. He clearly gives us viewers a takeaway every single time he watches one of the videos, and they are clear, they are concise, they are easy to understand. Now, the good thing is this S.E.X.I method can be used and should be used for both long form and short form content. For your short form content, just pack each of these letters with a punch. Quick statement, quick example, clear explanation, and easy importance of a takeaway. Now, for a long form video, you do the same thing. Just extend it, go more in depth, provide greater examples, back up your explanation with more points, more data, more reason as to why your bold statement earlier is absolutely true. You can simply repeat the S.E.X.I method as needed for your long form content. If you have 3 tips on how to get started with your own industry, maybe it's fitness or money or relationships, happiness, have a S.E.X.I framework for each of those tips. It re-energizes the viewers. It's exactly what Hormozi does over and over and over again within his long form content to keep our attention, even if it's 45 minutes in duration. So now that we have the framework in order to sound sexy and be seen as an authority, now we want our content to be edited in a very attractable way. Now, what you don't want to do is just tell your editor that you want to look exactly like Hormozi, and keyword exactly. You want to look like him because his content is performing well. It's proven to work. But the best brands are easily recognizable in their own right. You see, this is when your brand needs to have proper branding. Look at Hormozi, for example. Throughout all of his different types of editing, he has a specific type of font that he uses that sets a strong, bold tone for his brand. You may want something similar, or you may want something different. If you want to go for a more sophisticated, elegant look, you would use a different type of font. And then also notice his colors. He uses 2 complementary colors. He uses that bold, rich purple with a bright yellow. Now, you could just copy his colors if you really wanted to, but you should probably think about your own colors. An easy way to find your own complementary colors is to look at a color wheel. Pick just 2 colors that are on opposite sides of the color wheel from each other, or close to opposite, and think about what would showcase your brand in the best way. Pause the video right now and pick those 2 colors. The font that sets the tone for your brand and the colors that really make you stand out, such as Pepsi versus Coca-Cola, is going to be applied to all of your content. Not just the videos you produce, but your email signature. Not just your email signature, but your banners across your YouTube, your LinkedIn. Now, that's the overall branding that we need to think of, but when it comes to the editing, notice what Hormozi does. He has 4 big checkboxes that he hits every single time he posts every single one of his videos. Number 1, he has the S.E.X.I framework. He knows that it's going to be extremely valuable for you. Number 2, it's always fast-paced, taking out any of the ums, the uhs. When you look at your content and when you're creating those frameworks, look back on it one more time before you hit record and just simply ask yourself, what is the most necessary information and how can I get rid of all the rest? This has been extremely helpful for me even creating my own videos, but this leads into number 3. After having the proper framework with the right speed, branding is applied to all aspects of the video editing as well as his whole brand in general, outside of the posts and into his profiles and even website, including how he's repurposing his content, the final aspect. Hormozi is repurposing in a couple of big ways. The first way that he repurposes his content is intentionally shooting the videos.
The amount of time that it takes me is 2 days per month and 4 hours per week. Quick recap, I have a daily mind dump. I do a weekly Twitter review. It takes me like 4 hours. We do 1 day a month of recording. And then for shorts, and then 1 day a month, it's usually like a half day. I'll do like 4 to 8 YouTube videos, the ones that are direct to camera. And that's it.
He'll sit down, just like I'm doing right now, shooting a long form video, and then he'll either cut up that long form video into a short form piece of content or multiple short form pieces of content, or he'll sit down and reshoot that same video, sometimes in a whole different setting. This is him sitting down and intentionally shooting the video. Because if you're just slapping Zoom recordings to your social media profiles, that worked a couple of years ago, but viewers are over it. Just take a little time. Sit down, shoot that intentional content. And then another metric that he's doing with repurposing is taking long form content that he's doing elsewhere, such as him speaking on stages, doing interviews and podcasts, posting that long form content, of course, and again, chopping down that content into shorter form pieces of content. But he doesn't stop there. For both intentional sit down videos as well as unintentional speaking engagements, yes, he creates the videos, but he also creates written content. Because think about the viewer's point of view. We all love watching videos, but we don't want to watch videos all the time. Sometimes we like to read a quick tweet or a quick caption, and he's leveraging that attention, because if you're not filling that void to reach your viewers with written content, your competitors ultimately will. I've seen this happen in my own space, and I'm starting to create more written content. But let's pull back and look at the big picture here. When you're running a business, you probably don't have the time to chop up your videos, find the best parts, and repurpose them for short form, long form content, written content. That's where we come into play, where we've been working with some massive entrepreneurs, business owners like Damon John from Shark Tank, who has millions of followers, as well as emerging brands, maybe like yourself, who's looking to create more content, better content that makes you stand out from the crowd. And the way that we help people with this is we embed an experienced creative team inside of your business to do everything that I said here in this video and more, because this is what's truly needed for your brand to grow here in this changing world of social media that we live in today. So if you're looking to create more content like Alex Hormozi, simply tap the link down below. You know how it goes. I have a 3.5-minute video explaining exactly what we do and how we do it. And it may just be the difference between you systemizing your content to create that quality at the quantity that you're looking to achieve to ultimately grow your brand's awareness. But whether we work together or not, take action on your brand. You've been inspired. You've been educated. Don't go watch more videos. Take action today.